Hello, friends. Today we are going to learn something about Scratch. It's an introduction to Scratch that we'll go through today. This is a simple video to really take you through that. How do you log into Scratch? How do you create? You create your username, passwords, and stuff like that, and then you would be able to start using Scratch. So let's get started. you know so let's understand what is Scratch. Or Scratch is actually a programming language that helps in creating simple animation, interactive stories, and games. What is the purpose? The purpose is learning programming concepts. It's a very fundamental way of learning how you should program, or how you should start computer programming, right? Having said that, let's take a quick look. How do we get started? How do we start? And for today's session, we will use the web version. All that you have to do is open the browser and type https scratch.mit.edu. If you are the first time, then you will have to join this. You have to click on join Scratch. Otherwise, you can click sign in. Let's take a quick look how it all happens. So this is the site that we would be opening, scratch.mit.edu. All right. Since I have logged in earlier as well, so it is showing me a lot more option. But let's get started with the basic. And this is the first page that gets open. You have this menu bar, and I was referring about join Scratch or sign in. So if you are the first time that you are doing it, so let's do a joining of Scratch. There are plenty of menu items. We'll go over them sometime later. Let's take a quick look. So join, you create your username, create your password, and you are done, right? If you are not the first time, all that you have to do is sign in, and you create your own, you log in with your own username and password. And once you log in, you would see this default screen coming. And once you do a create, so that is the one of the important menu item that you will have to remember. Once you click on create, you will get this place where you would be able to do your first program. All right. Now let's take a quick look, explanation of all these various menu items, the screens and stuff like that. Right? So let's quickly learn that. So we just saw how to log into Scratch. You can join, and if you are returning, that means to say you already have a login, you can use sign in, of course. Join, and after joining, you would be able to log in. So here is the Scratch window which we opened, right? So let's try to learn each of these menu items. What is it called? So this is the Scratch menu, and all you see this untitled 36, it's the name of this program or the file that you are creating, right? This is stage. This place is called stage, and this is the place where your program, once it is partially executing, or you're doing some execution, you will be able to see that how your sprite is actually working. So sprite is nothing but this object. It is also in programming language, it is also called object, but just this is the image. This is the animated image. Is called sprite, and this is placed here. So this is chat. You can create you can have other characters as well as part of your animation program. So each of these characters are none but sprites, sprite, sprites, right? And these sprites can be can have its own program. So every sprite has its own program. And where do you write those programs? This is the script area. And how would you write the programs? You will just simply pull the blocks from the left hand side, and this is called block palette. We'll just quickly take a look that these are the various blocks which are there. So one is motion, the looks, sound, events, many other blocks like that. So you will be able to pull any of the blocks inside this block palette and place it in your script area. Once you place the blocks sequentially, look at it, move 10 steps. You can call this block and attach with go to a random position or go to some position. So those are nothing but sequence. So you can sequentially place the blocks one after the other, and you will create your program. And today we will see one simple program, how to move this particular sprite. We'll take a look at that. Look at these. So for a given sprite or for a sprite, you can definitely write the code. So these are all the available blocks. Similarly, you can change the look and feel of the sprite. So that means you can make this sprite a different color. You can change the color. You can make it a non-smiling sprite. You can make this cat sit as well. So, all of that, you can do it within the costume. So that's the look of the sprite. And you can programmatically call each of the looks. That means after certain, walking position, you can make it sit or something like that. So everything is possible. So you create individual smaller portion or this part of this sprite or the different look of a sprite, and that different look is called costumes. You can add sounds to the sprite as well. So the code, costume, and sound, these are the three main tabs in for coding. That means this will help you choose the shape, make the movement, or to perform some operation, add the sounds at any point in time. That's how your program or animation would look like. Now, I was giving the example of motion block. Similarly, there is looks block. That means how would you dynamically change the costumes? How would you, there are multiple, blocks inside looks block. Similarly, sound, events, there are multiple things which are there. And there are some more which are not by default available in your, block drawers. You can add them as well, and you will learn that over time. You don't have to worry right now, but there are plenty more options which are there. And lastly, the most important thing to remember is that, this green flag and this red stop button. So as it means, it's the start and the stop of a program. So once you create your program, you can click this and it will start playing on its own. You don't have to click anywhere else. Of course, and when you want to stop, you can just simply click the stop button. If your program is something infinitely running, so you have to stop it, right? So that's where the stop button. Otherwise, for a simple program, it will start and it will stop on its own as it completes. So these are some of the high-level ideas about the screen which is there, and your name would appear here. This is your user name, and that's pretty much the main screen, how it looks like. Now I'll show you some more demo about in today's demo what we will see that we'll browse through various menu items. I'll show you the block palettes, block drawers. We will browse through them, and we will also write a very small program to move the sprite. Okay, so let's do that. So we are back to our screen, and I was referring about costumes. This is the costume. I was saying that you could change the color, right? Or you should use this undo button to change back, right? So there are multiple options. You can change the color, you can change the shape, you can draw on its own. All of that is possible within the costume. Look at it. Everything is referenced against the sprite. This is the sprite. This is the stage. Whatever you change here, the same look and feel would appear here as well, right? So that's the costume. And you can give a different name. Look at it. This is called costume 1. This is called costume 2. You can say that, cat 1, cat 2, or any other name that you are comfortable with, or you wish to give those sprites a different name. You could do that. You have multiple various options to draw and stuff like that. So this is a simple browsing, right? You can write a text if you want to. Hi, Kitty. Right. Okay, so that's costume, and of course you can add various kinds of sound. Let's hear this. You hear this? Meow. Right. So this is a meow sound which can be played. And then let's do. So this is the one of the blocks, like coding block, motion block. This is the block drawer. So let's take a look at looks. So you can say hello, you want to think, and stuff like that. So all of that. So think in the sense that you can say Kitty. Now look at it. Hi, I am Kitty. And this will play for 2 seconds, right? It will stay there for 2 seconds and then it will automatically go off. So all I did is that, I pulled a block and pulled it to this, script area. You don't want this block, you just push it back. That's how easy or simple it is, right? So let's do a small programming for today, which will do a movement of this cat sprite. Cat sprite. Now, if I click, see, it is moving. Now, assume that, I want to move it this 10 steps by 10 times, right? So how do I do that? I can either write 10 into 10, that is 100 here. So it will directly, take, all the 100 steps. See? Or I can also do it with a control, that is repeat this 10 times, right? So this is a control block. I'm placing this block inside it. So what it means is 10 times 10 steps, right? So if you click this, it will do the same thing, but look at this way. It is looking as if that, it is walking, right? So you can introduce delay as well. Let's say after a step, you see, step by step it is going. I'm not clicking any further. It is step by step it is going. So these are the various options you have, and you will keep learning. This is enormous options which are there. You will be able to animate your story as you find it, as you want to draw or as you want to animate, right? So now let's create this a complete program. So 10 step right, we'll do, let's duplicate this block. So we'll do 10 steps back. Now what would happen? After 10 steps forward, it will come 10 steps back. You see, it is coming back, but it is looking odd, right? That, it is taking the back steps. Can we change the face or, facing backside? Yes, we can do that. Let's see how do we quickly do it. So this is the costume, right? And do we see some option to, okay, so let's first select, and then do you see flip horizontal? So what I'll do is I'll copy this, I'll duplicate this. So this is called costume 3, and let's name it cat front, cat back. All right, let's not worry about the third one. That's okay. I can delete this from my coding part. I don't need that. So let's flip this horizontally. Now, as you see, this is front side, this is back side. Now, in the code, in my program, I will call the back side once it reaches the end. That is, after completing 100 steps, totally 100 steps. So 10 steps, 10 times. It will come back. It should take this sprite instead of the first sprite, right? So let's do it this way. So when it starts, it should be on front. Okay, let me just rename as right and left rather than front and back. Right, left. So code. Let's go to the looks block. Switch costumes to cat left, and then we will again place switch costumes to cat right. Okay, so let's make this right first and then to left. Now let's also put a even block. That is, when I click this button, this entire program will get started. And once it is done, it stops automatically. See, I clicked. See, it flipped the side. It is now walking back. Right, so that's how our program got closed. Right, now let's say that I started the program, but I don't want to run it forever. I mean, it's taking a long time, right? I want to stop it. This is how you stop it. So this is the stop button. So I hope today you have learned some very interesting small program. You will be able to make your own stories for sure in the coming days. I will take you through all the various blocks. We will create some smaller programs for you to learn these blocks at a much simple way, and you will be able to create your own complex animated story all by yourself. Okay, so let's call it a day. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I wish you a very happy scratching and learning, of course. So learn programming. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.